Hello and welcome to MGP300 Part 2, aka the E3 2018 special. I'm Kevin, with me as ever, there's Sheepdog, Anna and Pab. Say hello, boys and girls.
Hello.
Yo.
Hello there.
Well. Look who we've got here then. You've all turned up this week for Part 2 of Episode 300. The E3 Spectacular! Are we all wearing our E3 Spectacular t-shirts? E3 Spectacular merch. That's what we should have. That's what we should have. Why don't we do t-shirts anymore? I'd wear an MGP t-shirt.
You kept putting corns on them.
Yeah, I do remember this.
That wasn't an official MGP shirt. I think that was actually the first Malujo shirt. I still wear that shirt occasionally. That was a great t-shirt.
To formal events.
Yeah. There should be a proper MGP shirt still that people could go and buy and pin their MGP colours to the wall so that people can go to the Midlife Gamer Shindig in September wearing one. That's what we need, really.
Good to just let everyone know that they've got a touch of class. Yeah,
exactly. If you want to look like the Thinking Man's podcast listener, you can still go to their event, but you wear our shirt. I think that would be. I don't even know if they've announced an event. I don't even know if that podcast is still going.
I haven't spoken to them in a long time.
Yeah, still going.
Most of the old people we used to talk to are long gone.
Still there. They're still there. There's more of a monthly.
Yeah, I think the breakdown of communications was firmly on our end, Sheepdog.
Wow. They know where our people are if they want to talk.
Yeah, they all went to our website and saw it was just porn now and assumed we were dead.
Well,
I had to throw away an entire box of MGP business cards the other day, the really nice square ones that we had, because on the back of them there's a massive QR code that links to our porn-filled website. Ridiculous. So they all went in the bin.
Yeah, most of us said to you, renew that site when it was like £2, and it's, what, 80 quid now or something stupid?
It's thousands now, I think.
It's really expensive.
Yeah, someone's holding us to ransom over it.
It's insane, really, for what it is.
Yeah, that's like a blinking contest where they're effectively fighting a blind man because we don't care enough. Like, what a bunch of idiots.
Oh, I don't care at all. I quite like being able to refer to my porn-filled website.
Yeah, if they'd have gone for like 15 quid, they might have made £14 profit. But, no, I do not care enough. I don't care enough to spend 20 quid on that.
Which was, I think, if I remember, was the conversation we had at the time. Which is what got us into bed.
I can believe that. Do you want a pitch in a fiver? No. That's one whole coffee. My mouth will get cold.
Yeah, exactly. So, are we all recovered from all of our late nights and note-taking that we've had as part of E3?
Late nights?
Yeah, who's had late nights?
It's on in the middle of the night, people.
Yeah, but
Anna set an alarm for 2:30 in the morning just to watch a Fallout trailer again.
I didn't get up. I had an exam.
Yeah, that's the story of every year. Every year we set an alarm for the late night ones, the 2:30 Bethesda and Sony
put them on that time.
And every year we sleep through them. But she woke up at 4 and watched it.
I'm pretty sure this is the first year I even remembered it was on. So, I'm making baby steps. That
can't be true, because I remember the year where we all sat in my dining room, which is now Dave's bedroom, but at the time had a TV and a sofa in it, and we all sat round there having a barbecue.
No, we were in the front room. I remember it being in the front room. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I know, but that's not me remembering it. That's you inviting me round to your house and maybe.
Why don't we have the E3 barbecue anymore? That was an amazing event. That one time
that was uni, wasn't it? Or was
it was weird though. That year, it must have been on at a reasonable time on reasonable days. It couldn't have been on. It couldn't have been on Monday night in the middle of the night.
Yeah.
Well, they changed it, didn't they? They went to Atlanta one year.
You don't invite me round anymore. I have to dress up as a little kid and knock on your front door, and you still don't let me in.
Oh God, that was weird. I thought we have to move to a mansion now.
Yeah, that is the logical next step. Let's move to a mansion. But, yeah, I can't help it if my door in public want to come and shake my hand to get a DNA sample.
Yeah, he'll be back with a paternity test next, won't he?
So, as is the tradition with these E3 shows, if you've not heard one of them before, I have made Oh, reams of notes, copious notes.
Reams.
The first line says sports games will happen. Spoiler.
The first line says EA, actually.
Oh, okay.
If you let me finish anyway, you bunch of spoilers. I made copious notes and then put them to one, copied the headlines off of the Tech Radar website onto a Word document and sent it out to you. So this is E3 courtesy of Tech Radar. If I need to go into a little bit more detail, I do have my notebook here. There you go.
Good.
Can you hear it? You perhaps can't hear it because it's moleskin and it's soft paper, so you can't hear it fluttering.
Oh, look at Mr. Fancy Moleskin.
Yeah. I mean, I was looking at these and I went, how have I got 6 pages and he's got this?
Well, because this is
his handwriting, Pab.
I was
You
baffled.
write like a girl.
Yeah, I imagine you've written loads. I mean, let's start with EA, because we'll go through it in the order that it actually happened. Now, I don't think you need any more than 4 words to cover sports games will happen. Any more information there?
No, I was explaining that to Pab pre-show that it was just, he was like, but what about FIFA? All right,
well, yes, that comes under the category of sports games will happen, Pab.
Can we just go sports games will happen done? Is that it? Yeah, you don't want to mention the fact that FIFA 19 has Champions League now?
Who cares? You. I don't even care a little bit. I didn't know it wasn't in there to begin with.
Somebody cares. That's right. That's why Pro Evo has had the license and they've now not got it.
I didn't know that was still going.
Yeah, they lost it.
See,
last game, yeah.
Pro Evo's like BT Sport. Nobody wants them to exist. They're just there to stop a monopoly from going on. And yeah, I'm kind of glad to hear they've lost their one right they had, because that's frustrating as hell. Why would anybody want?
I imagine they'll have bought the rights to shorts designs now or something, so that they can have everything right in FIFA, apart from they'll all have to wear different shorts.
What, Pro Evo?
Got some terrible
shorts
that ruins FIFA for everybody. Bunch of monsters. They're one of the main reasons Football Manager can't have the licenses that they want. EA are quite happy to let Sports Interactive share the licenses with them, but Konami say no. If they can have them, we can have them too. We'll sue you.
Yeah.
Anti-gamer nonsense.
Yeah. So hopefully they go out of business. And then we never have to put up with their nonsense again. So yeah, Pab, sports games will happen.
I'm fine with that. I'm just going to chip in with stuff because I think some things need to. I mean,
that's fine. I mean, if I read my notes out word for word, we'd be done in like 40 seconds.
Oh no,
so you probably do need to chip in occasionally.
I will mention this as well. FIFA 18 there's a free trial going on as well at the minute. I think it's this next week, or I don't know how long it was for. Now I just put FIFA 18 free trial. So if you want to play FIFA while the World Cup's on, and there's a World Cup update for FIFA 18, there you go. Give it a go.
Thanks, Ben.
Kevin, should you not be doing videos on this?
I've sat there 3 times trying to bring myself to do it, and I just don't care. I just couldn't care less. That would show through in the videos. That I just didn't. I don't care. I've actually cut back the Football Manager videos I've done for this month. I'm only doing 5 a week rather than I was doing 12 a week. I've gone down to 5 a week during the World Cup just because. Oh, football. Oh, dirty football.
Jesus.
Aww.
He's spitting on his roots. Next you'll go all corporate sponsors and start having sponsored videos.
We do have sponsored videos.
I know he does. That's why I said it.
The bills, sheepdog.
Yeah, we have bills to pay.
Don't worry, I've got a video for an indie game coming out tomorrow, so I'll be able to twiddle my moustache while I was playing an indie game and smoking a pipe filled with lattes.
I hope you shaved your neck last week, so you've got a nice hefty neck beard going.
I haven't shaved my neck for a long time.
Oh, mate. That neck beard's going to be like, ugh.
So, Anthem is still happening and still looks like it's just a Destiny ripoff. Basically, it's not going to be very good. And they should have just let them make a proper game, like another Mass Effect game.
No, they don't want to do that. I mean, Dragon Age is in the works. They have said that is a thing that's happening, but it's not ready yet. And you want to steer away. They've done huge damage to Mass Effect with the last one. The
logic of let's take one of the best RPG games developers out there and get them to make a generic online shooter. That's a clever idea. and let's call it Anthem.
You don't know what it is. We don't know exactly what it is
and
yet.
let's release it in February 2019, when apparently all the games are coming out. That's the new silly season.
That's annoying.
February next year.
Hmm.
Although I wrote that on the second line of my notes and then didn't make a note of all the other ones that were coming out in February, but I know they're in the big notes.
They're all trying to avoid Red Dead, though. That's the problem. That's what they're doing.
Well, and Fallout, presumably, now. Red Dead and Fallout both coming out relatively close together. It's pretty terrifying if you're bringing out a terrible-looking game like Anthem.
It's not terrible looking.
Looks all right.
It's just not.
It just looks like another generic shooter. We've already got Destiny / The Division, which I'm still fairly confident are the same game. This looks like it's just the sequel to that game.
Will this have a really good shooting mechanism in it?
We'll see. I don't know. We don't know. I mean, it's EA, so maybe it's BioWare, isn't it?
Yeah, because the shooting was always top-notch in Mass Effect.
That's what I mean. That's what I mean. I don't know. We just don't know.
What's the one thing BioWare are really great at? Yeah, they're shooting.
That's in there, though, isn't it? The BioWare mechanic stuff's in there, isn't it? All the conversations and the RPG elements are still in there, aren't they?
Pat, summarise it to what it is: the lesbianism.
What? I didn't really play much of Mass Effect, so you have to explain.
Everyone's a lesbian in Mass Effect.
If you play a lesbian, you did it wrong. That's how Mass Effect plays.
Oh, right, I see.
Yeah.
Okay.
Battlefield 5 is going to get sued by the PUBG people soon, probably.
They're suing everyone.
Because they've got a Battle Royale mode, and you're not allowed to do that.
No, they brought a fancy lawyer, and their lawyer must want to keep himself busy, I guess. They're suing everyone, aren't they? Just like, right, here we go.
Yeah. Who are these PUBG people? Are they just a company that like to sue? Or are they a company I'll have heard of from anything other than PUBG?
Bluehole is a big, I think it's South Korean. It's a big South Korean, company, so who knows?
Well, they haven't officially announced this lawsuit yet, but Battlefield 5 has announced that it's going to have Battle Royale, because apparently it's the only way you can play a shooting game now. I imagine Anthem will have one as well, because Anthem's just going to take all the generic stuff from the game. You might be able to tell I wasn't that impressed with EA. I don't know if I'm giving it away in the way I'm describing this conference.
Why are they, going back to that though, surely if anyone should be suing anyone, it should be the fine people who made the film Battle Royale, the phrase Battle, or the people who made the phrase. But you know what I mean? It's not like they invented the concept of putting loads of people on an island and making them kill each other for sport.
But they invented the concept of the circle getting smaller, Sheepdog.
No, they didn't. Hunger Games did. And Battle Royale had it in it.
That's the basis, I think, of the lawsuit, certainly against Fortnite. It's that, the storm closes in. That's our thing. This weather's moving.
I'm no legal eagle, but I reckon if they just got me involved, I'd get them out of that case in no time.
Well, I don't think they're particularly afraid. They haven't halted. They haven't stopped in bringing Fortnite out on the Switch this week, has it?
It did take a while to load in a week, though. Family sitting around the TV together, trying to get it working.
You notice it's 12, don't you?
A 12?
Yeah.
Apparently everyone in my kids' classes plays it.
See, that's so bad.
All kids in the world are playing it. It's the new Minecraft.
Yeah.
There's nothing in it, apart from, obviously, all the shooting.
You're killing each other.
Or they
don't leave, do they? They just disappear.
I mean, my kids keep trying to pull off all these dances. It's pretty offensive.
Well, they are. There are some aggressive moves.
Lampup came third in her first ever go. She didn't even know how to look up.
That probably helped her. Nothing to be afraid of if you can't look at the enemy.
She literally bumbled her way through, got a few weapons, got a shield on, and then, just hid in a bunker when it was down to 5 people, and then nearly killed the person who ended up winning it. I think if she'd have got one more shot off, should have come at least second.
Nice. And then they finally did something good. Those good old people of EA. They dropped Unravel 2 immediately, and Anna got all excited and got it downloaded.
Yeah, I've got it. Played it.
You finished
completed the first
one.
I
finished it.
It's a good game, isn't it?
Yeah, it's just nice. It's just nice and relaxing, and you don't have to really think about anything.
And it's co-op.
It is now. Yes, it's co-op now. And you can change your colours. So the advert was, I think it was like red and blue, but now I've got a yellow one, a blue one. So
really? Wow.
Yeah, it's got customization in it. So trying to get to level 3 was, I just could not work it out for the life of me how to get to level 3. I worked it out now, but at the time I was like, I do not know how to get to level 3. I just couldn't work it out.
Via level 2.
Well, no, I did level 2, and then it showed me where level 3 was. Because like in the first one, you would have a hub area where all your levels would be, and I got there, and it showed me where it was, and I was like, right, how do I get there? And like there was a mechanism, and I was like, I understand that I've got to pull that, but then what do I do? And then I finally worked it out, and I was like, oh, thank God for that. It wasn't very clear what you had to do, but I did it.
They're monsters. How much was it?
15.
Okay. Not too bad.
Didn't break the bank.
Is it in EA Access?
Possibly.
There'll be a trial, yeah. Be like a 6-hour trial, whatever it is to do these days.
And it will be done in 6 hours, won't it?
I forgot about the EA Access. Oh, well, never mind.
I might have a look on there because I still have that. After all this slating of EA, I think I still have it on both Xbox and PC. I probably need to cancel at least one of those.
Yeah.
But I might play this game quickly before I do.
Speaking of EA Access, they did announce EA Access Premier. Did you see this one?
Tell us all about EA Access.
This is like Game Pass for Xbox. All the new games come to it, and you come to it immediately. So
how much is this going to cost me?
I don't know. It'll be an additional fee.
It's £100 a year, I think.
Get out.
Yeah.
But again, you look at if you bought all, you get FIFA, you get Anthem, you get any new game that EA puts out will go straight onto their like Game Pass for Microsoft. So I mean, you look at it, £100 a year.
After all that kerfuffle everybody made about Microsoft trying to do away with hard copies of discs at the start of this generation, by the end of this generation, they're going to be gone, aren't they? It's all going to be subscription. Which is fine, because that's how I consume all other media. Makes sense for games to be on subscription. £100 a year, if they let you do that as a monthly fee, that's like £7-8 a month for it. I'd pay EA, Sony, Microsoft less than £10 a month each to just have every game they release for nothing. That would be fine. I do that with Netflix and Amazon and Spotify and whatever else.
Shame they can't do a centralized Netflix version, isn't it? I mean, I guess they probably will. They'll do it.
Yeah, the only reason Netflix seems centralized is because it's bigger than all the other ones. I guess you eventually get one that becomes bigger than the others. I mean, we have Amazon and Netflix because they have different stuff on.
Yeah.
So it's just the same as that, isn't it? What we don't want is a situation where there's 9 different ones. We want it to.
Yeah, you need EA to toe in with. EA and people like that need to really bow in with Xbox and Sony, surely.
Well, Bethesda have jumped into bed a little bit with Microsoft, haven't they, with the Games Pass thing? Not with their brand new stuff, but Fallout 4's gone into it.
Well, this is the thing. There's lots of games going into the Games Pass, but they're not going day and date like into Games Pass. They're going in like 8 to 12 months.
Yes, yeah.
How would that affect you, Anna, if Bethesda basically went in with Microsoft and it became a permanent that we're on that Netflix style platform from now on, and Sony was the Amazon Prime that couldn't get it?
You could still buy the game, surely.
Yeah, they're never going. I don't think they're going to stop with the copies, because then people don't buy pre-orders, and pre-orders are expensive.
Well, we've already seen a trend of occasionally games not being included in limited edition pre-order stuff.
That's true. So that's annoying.
That could have just been testing the water for that.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't go well, did it?
No, but again, it might just be that it was a good idea early.
Yeah, I don't mind what things on. I have a preference.
We just need to hope they don't put adverts in it, or else Sheepdog will hit the roof.
But they're going to put adverts in it because they're going to want to. Because they said the way they're going to fund it with the service and everything is by cosmetic details, and I'm fine with that. I don't have to buy them. There's no one saying, "Here's the game." Like, say, pay £200 for the game, and then here you go, buy all this as well. I don't have to buy it. I can choose to buy it. So I don't care if there's adverts.
I don't mind ads normally. Just when I spend a lot of money on a TV, I don't want it to start.
Yeah, but why did you pay so much for a TV?
Because I got the best telly.
But why? My TV's 4K and it's fine, and it costs not even £700. And it's
I got the best one there was, and that was that. I wanted the best telly, so I went and got the best telly, and then put spam in it. It's I found ways to limit it now.
Good. Shut your eyes when you're using the menus.
And for the one I can't limit, I basically went and, oddly, to make my situation better, I've made the settings worse by allowing them to tailor adverts to my tastes by monitoring what I do on the telly. So I figured if they're going to force me to look at adverts, I at least want them to be relevant adverts in that area. So it has calmed, but I was annoyed because Samsung said they were going to go and get someone to help me turn it off, and then didn't respond for 2 weeks, and then said, we can't, it's a feature of the telly. And I'm just like, right, that's ridiculous. It's not a feature, it's just spam.
You're a monster. So, Stato, is there anything else we missed from EA, from your copious notes?
Let's have a look. Sea of Solitude.
Yeah.
It's another indie game. It came pretty much straight after Unravel 2. Seemed like an interesting little game. It's not your typical EA game anyway.
Right, I have a question.
Yes.
How can an EA game be referred to as an indie game? It wasn't the only time this happened over the course of the weekend. I don't think I understand what the word indie means.
It's not built by a big giant studio like BioWare or anything like that, or it's an independent studio which
are EA not the largest games publisher in the world?
They're a publisher, but they're not a studio, not a developing studio.
Okay.
It's just like some little farm they've got them, like what Sega did, where they let indies come along.
It's like what Sony have done, got indie studios and got all the indie games on there, and Nintendo and Microsoft and whatever. And EA are doing it as well now. They go to these little studios out wherever they were. I think this was in Germany where this one's being made, and then they went, okay, we'll publish this for you. Here's some money. Do what you want. Make it.
Probably should tell them to make it before they tell them to do what they want. It's more efficient that way.
Well, if you let them do what they want, then you let them express it more, it might be a better game. Or they could just make a right mess and then take a load of money and run.
Just get them to do a generic online shooter, even if it's not their specialism.
You sure EA haven't just basically said it's an indie game because they massively underfunded it and just wanted to look a bit rough around the edges, so they've got indie? They did it independent of budget.
No, I don't know. I don't think so.
Well, thank you for clarifying. Beans. Now I understand.
That's about it, really.
Splendid.
There's a Command and Conquer game coming to mobile.
No,
that's about it. It looks like Clash Royale. It's like Clash Royale. That's about as much as I can say. And I tried getting into it because the beta is on Android, and it's for US only. So there you go. That's the end of that.
So, in summary, EA was a steaming turd.
It wasn't great. It was not great at all, really, to be fair. I was a bit bored.
Splendid. Which then led us in the next day to Microsoft.
Yes.
Where I have lots of notes from Microsoft. They're not in any particular logical order, so I'm going to ruin your notes by going through them in my order.
Can I point out with Microsoft's one? They came out a little bit like they were saying, we've heard what everyone's taken a mickey out of us about for the past, or the whole generation. So here's how we're going to fix it. And it was all stuff you thought, you're a bona fide gaming company. Like, you should have just done this from the start, surely. So before we go on and say they've got a lot of awesome stuff on their list, which is what I'm expecting you to say, because they have, man, they should have just done this from the start.
It's not what they wanted, though, was it? They didn't want to be a games console, a gaming company. They wanted to be a media hub.
Yeah. I remember them days.
That upset the nerds. So now they're calling themselves a gaming thing, whilst still being a media hub. And the nerds are less hissy about it now. Even though when you really drill down into what Microsoft had, Sony is still beating them for exclusives. They just had a lot of exclusive trailers.
Yeah, well, I don't know. Sony only had two things worth talking about, and they weren't exactly that exciting.
Well, the only real exclusives that Microsoft had were sequels to long-running franchises that have all jumped the shark a little bit. We've got Gears 5, Halo Infinite, Forza Horizon 4. They're the exclusives. Were there any others worthy of note? There's no Last of Us in there. There's no Spider-Man in there.
Yeah.
So what they did do is confirm development is underway on a new console. That was probably the most significant thing they said.
When?
They did.
Conference.
Did they? Oh, I completely missed that then.
They also said that the far future is they're looking at streaming. So looking at Xbox becoming more of a service rather than a console. So it'll be a streaming service rather than, like, say, a box.
Microsoft in general, everything's Azure for the moment. They've been doing some, like, ridiculous projects with that. So I wouldn't be surprised if they'll just sink a few data centers in the middle of the sea. I don't know if you've seen them doing that, and just have it all hosted on them. And just be massive.
But if they can be clever about it so that you don't need a fancy machine to play it on, and it can just be a Chromecast-style dongle that you plug into your TV, buy a controller, and you've got the whole Xbox catalogue in there, that would be brilliant.
Yep.
It would be special.
And it effectively means generations are gone because you're just streaming a game from a server somewhere. So you're never needing new consoles every 6 to 8 years, whatever it is. It's just a service that they just put new games on every month, year, or whatever. I can see a lot
of old school nerds getting all hissy about it, but to me that sounds perfect.
Which is why they've got a new console. I feel like they're looking at not next generation because they're looking at the new console in development now. They're looking at maybe the one after that. So you've got probably about at least 10 to 15 years maybe before this happens.
I'd say maybe 5. I think it
could be.
It's not going to last. The next console will last as long as the Xbox One X has.
Well, the next console is not going to be out, I don't think, for probably about 2 to 3 years. So then you've got to look at
2.
Yeah,
I would suggest it'll be in my house within 2 years.
The Xbox hasn't been out. The new Xbox X hasn't been out a year yet. So you've got to look at.
So in 2 years' time, it'll have been out 3 years, which is roughly how long the original Xbox One was.
Well, like I say, so if you look at it that way, and then that generation of that console goes from 7 years? In 2 years' time, the PS4 will be PS4 and Xbox One will be 7 year old or something like that. So you put another 7 years on that, that's close to 10, isn't it? So, in 10 years' time, there could be streaming services. It could happen before now.
Bear in mind, Xbox is already an app on my PC that I can play all my Xbox Pass games on, so it's already there.
Yeah, but the next step is you could run it on an iPad effectively because you don't need the power behind your PC or your console to do it. You could have it on an app on Sheepdog's Samsung PC TV.
He wouldn't ever find out about it.
He wouldn't be happy with it. Yeah, but you could effectively just do that and it's all dependent on now on the technology getting to there and the bandwidth of people, because people can't imagine trying to stream a 4K game to your telly. It's a lot of bandwidth.
Things that crossed my mind was my internet's 30 meg, so there's no chance it would work.
Yeah, so you just got to look at where the internet technology is going as well. So it's interesting though.
They'd do a halfway house one for a few years anyway, wouldn't they? They'd have some people can buy I reckon they'd have a halfway generation. They'd a fully fledged.
Well, I imagine that's what the next one's going to be. They've already got the PC app. They've already got Game Pass. They've already got all of the product line there to just do. They could click their fingers and do it right now if the technology was with them. So it's there for the people who want to be able to do it. You could be an Xbox gamer without buying the next generation of Xbox. You just get Game Pass and you play them all on your gaming PC. And you're an Xbox gamer, because all the Xbox exclusives are available on PC as well, and they're all included in that Game Pass thing. So you don't actually need an Xbox console to be able to play all the Xbox games.
Indeed.
Already. Mm-hmm. So, the most exciting game of the entire weekend was announced, which was obviously Gears Pop, which is just, what a wonderful thing. There needs to be more Pop Vinyl games.
Yeah, it's a mobile game.
It's a mobile game now.
Doesn't matter what it is. It's incredible.
Yeah.
I want as many Pop Vinyl games as there are Pop Vinyls. It'd be brilliant. Plus, there was another 2 Gears. By the way, they've dropped the of War, haven't they? It seems. It's Gears 5, Gears Pop, Gears.
So they're not at war anymore. It's peacetime, is it?
I guess.
Well, not based on the trailers. Tactics games looked interesting because it's effectively XCOM Gears.
Yeah.
I mean, you realise that there was a lot of getting into cover and stuff in the Gears games. It kind of makes sense that you can have a Gears game that's like XCOM because there's a lot of getting into cover and taking shots from cover. It's just,
I love how that's become
the
shortcut. You can just put tactics in the title and that is it. You can make tactics anything now, can't you?
Apart from Football Manager, which I'm still struggling with after 25 years.
Well, you could probably do a football version of that where you just make the players all get into certain positions. And
I think that's called Sabutio.
Exactly. Just do an electronic version of that.
That's of all the things, of all the harebrained schemes I've had, and I sat there for a good couple of afternoons about 2 years ago trying to plan out how I'd do a app version of Sabutio and make it an amazing thing, because such a thing doesn't exist, and I don't know why it doesn't. I would love to be able to play Sabutio on my iPad.
You'd hurt your finger flicking your screen.
You wouldn't. You just swipe at it, wouldn't you?
Yeah. I don't know why that doesn't exist. If there's people of Sabutio are listening, which why wouldn't they be? Why does that not exist? No one's buying your stupid toys anymore. I don't understand how you're still in business, but this could be how you can... Remember when you used to make money? Making it an app is a way to get back to those days.
Get a slice of that internet money.
I don't think there's a Sabutio app. There wasn't 2 years ago, the last time I looked. Right, hold on.
What's that other one with a magnet?
They've stolen my idea. You lot talk amongst yourself. I'm downloading Sabutio if it exists.
I think I told you about it ages ago. You just
was it more than 2 years ago? Is this where my idea came from?
I wanted to know why. I mean, I suppose this is a double-edged question. A few people did this, but why Kingdom Hearts was in the Microsoft one and not in the Square Enix one?
It was. It was in all of them. Sheepdogs.
Well, I mean, why not just in that? Is what I'm saying.
Money.
Why not just in what? Because
money.
Because I don't know. Because not everyone's watching every single conference. Like
Microsoft wanted to say, "Look what we've got for the first time ever."
I suppose.
Remember when this was
that all the other ones as well? Did look good though.
There's Sabutio by Shuffle Cards, but it doesn't look like what I've got in mind. It's a card game, so I'm happy that what I thought of doesn't exist yet. But yeah, Kingdom Hearts was really just a jab at one of many jabs at Sony over the course of the weekend, just to say, look, this used to be one of your exclusives, didn't it? Well, now look where it is. And I watched that trailer and thought this would be really cool if it wasn't for that Final Fantasy looking dweeb who's in it. Everything else about this looks awesome. Get rid of the dweeb.
It's Final Fantasy Disney.
Yeah, get rid of
it
him.
Always has been.
Yeah, get rid of the dweeb.
The whole series is that though, isn't it?
I don't know. I've never played it.
Yeah, the
I've
game
never
is
shown any interest.
The game is Final Fantasy characters and Disney characters.
Yeah, so get rid of the Final
story.
Fantasy dweebs.
Then it'd be a Disney game. It wouldn't work.
Which would be awesome.
No, the Final Fantasy part of it makes it a game.
Nah, just you can bring some of the mechanics over. I don't need the dweeb there. Just the Disney stuff looked awesome, and then it got spoiled by a dweeb
part of the whole game.
Not interested.
He's the main character.
Nah, Mickey Mouse is in it. He's the main character. Anything Mickey Mouse is in, he's the main character in.
I can't even remember the first one. Was Mickey missing in the first one?
I think.
Even if he was the main character. He's Mickey Mouse.
He is like the king in the second one. I remember that. I think, like I say, king. He was their go-to. You know, everyone listens. I'd love to replay them. Where can I get them, Anna?
PS4.
Yeah, PS4.
Really?
Remasters of them.
Anna bought it like a year ago, I think. We've talked about it on the podcast in the last 12 months.
Yeah, I might have been getting a beer then. Okay, cool. I might show them to my kids. They'd love it.
Talking of not paying attention to stuff that was going on.
Okay.
I saw the Forza Horizon 4 trailer start, and then just check Twitter while it was on, so I don't need to see. I know it's in the UK. I know I'll buy it. Well, I won't buy it because it's in Game Pass. I know this is the day I'll sign up for Game Pass.
You texted me saying buy for boys. But it's a boys' game.
It is a boys' game. I'm not going to buy it. I'll get Game Pass.
You told me to get it.
I'm getting Game Pass, Anna. We talked about this.
Okay.
It really was. This really is an example of not paying attention. I didn't watch the trailer properly. Once I saw it was Forza Horizon, once I saw it was in the UK, at that point I was like, well, obviously I want this, but I don't need to know any more about it now. I still haven't played more than about 2 hours of Forza Horizon 3. And I just know I like Forza Horizon, but I don't get why it needs to be a big trailer fancy thing, because it's just more of the same. But in Britain now.
Does that mean you're driving on the opposite side of the road?
Yes.
I drive wherever the lines take me anyway. Just follow the green line.
Straight down the middle.
It's looking like you can drive. I don't know how big this map will be, but it's looking like you can drive Scotland to England like full length.
Yeah, I'm going to turn up outside your house.
Yeah, let's see if it's there. Have a look.
Why wouldn't it be there? You're saying your house doesn't exist.
No.
Backtracking now.
Yeah, sounds like it.
And then other stuff happened that Stato will tell us about in a minute. And then we had the false ending that was then interrupted by Cyberpunk 2077, which looked really, really cool.
Hell yeah.
It did, but I've raised this too many times because it was a bit of a moot point, but I was like, it was just loads of fancy videos that never looked like the game itself when the game's actually shown.
It looks like that Altered Carbon from Netflix. Nice. I was watching things, I was like, that's like that, they're the same. It's very strange.
Yeah. It's very futuristic, Blade Runner-esque world they're in. I mean, you're right, Sheepdog. It is...
It's pointless doing those cinematic.
It's cinematic. It's because they've shown nothing for the 2 years since they announced it, and they've only got this at the minute. Well, they've not only got this because
there's gameplay stuff about.
There is gameplay stuff about, and they're behind closed door stuff. People are coming out saying there's like 50 minutes of like gameplay, and it's supposed to people's minds are blown by this game.
I suppose they probably wouldn't have got the same reaction if they'd shown the actual game. I get that, but I just sit there and kind of think, oh, for God's sakes, like, I get it. You've polished this video to hell. A game couldn't look like this and run. So,
but I think it was in game engine though.
It was still just a high definition video, wasn't it?
I don't know.
This is the actual game. I'd have been like, right, that's worth you losing your mind over. But when it does the cutscenes, that's when you go up and have a quick wee.
Right. Splendid. Stato, what else did Microsoft tell us?
Halo Infinite. Halo, new Halo. That's Halo 6. I don't know why they've called it Halo Infinite
because it won't go away.
Well, this is supposed to be end of the trilogy too. Yeah,
isn't the idea of this that this is going to be a generic online shooter? This is another Destiny.
This is another battle royale.
Yeah, this is another Destiny Anthem.
I don't know.
What's the other one called that's the same? We need a name for these. Just boring shooting games.
I don't know. We just don't know. They only showed realistically that's cinematic. I've not seen anything else like saying that this is what it is. But it is the sixth game in the series, sort of thing.
Anybody still care about Halo?
Yeah.
It's a bizarre thing, though, isn't it? I feel like it's something. I mean, I get this with Destiny as well, but I feel like when people get excited about it, you're like, will you ever learn?
I mean, I loved Gears of War, but I'm not that fussed about Gears 5. I'll probably have a look at it.
4 and Judgment were massive burns.
Yeah, but Halo was. What, 6 or 7 years before Gears of War? And it's not moved on. So must be pushing 20 years of Halo going on, of just re-releasing the same game slightly more polished every few years. And it's just a shooter where people jump a lot.
It became shorthand for game, didn't it? People would just say, oh, you're playing Halo. That because it was a game people knew the name of. So I think that's just it. It's in a lot of non-gamers' minds. People will buy it. Yeah.
I don't understand why anyone would need Halo, Gears of War, Anthem, Destiny, Division, Battlefield, Call of Duty.
This is the world we live in. Yeah, and that's what people like. This is what sells. So why
people can't stand people?
Well, like I say, this is what sells. So you have to move to India, Kev.
To India?
Yeah, you go to India.
Why?
Because they're all making shooters.
I don't understand.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't say move to India. I said move to Indy.
Oh, I see. India. That makes more sense.
I knew you said India. I was trying to explain.
I thought you were trying to be funny.
I just thought you were saying, like, I know, in India they get Halo, and I'm thinking, wow.
In India.
Let's move there.
Notice how the two Northerners understood each other perfectly there. Those of us who understand real English had no idea what you were saying, Pam.
Right. So, what else was there?
Hear one side note. I did hear someone ranting on Twitter that Cyberpunk 2077 was going to be banned in Australia, probably based on the demo they played and how most games get banned there if they're a little bit naughty. So that makes it sound like it'll be a bit R-rated.
It will be. No doubt.
I mean, the trailer did show that anyway, but what I mean is more that, so if you don't like Cyberpunk, move to Australia.
Well, I do like the look of that. That looks like something a little bit different.
Well, don't go to Australia then, Kev.
That is a shooter, Kev. That is a first-person shooter.
Yeah, but it looks different.
Oh, so that one's different, is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Did you not watch the trailers, Pam?
Yeah, I did.
Did you not just say yourself, this is Halo 6?
Oh, yeah.
We're talking about. Well, by definition, that means it's not different. Is this? This isn't Cyberpunk 2077 because there's been 2076 previous versions. This is a new IP. It's different. It's an interesting idea.
Come out yet. They're only advertising that one. They might have 2066 left.
Maybe.
But what about Anthem then?
What about it?
That's a new
Destiny.
IP. That's a shooter. That's new.
Destiny, isn't it? It's not though. What's new and unique about Anthem?
I don't know. I've not seen anything of it.
It's nothing. It's just Destiny.
But we don't know yet, do we? Give it a chance.
No.
I'm not disagreeing with you about Cyberpunk. I'm just pointing out a fact that you were slagging first-person shooters off.
I felt a bit like Cyberpunk was just Destiny with a Cyberpunk lick of paint on it.
Cyberpunk's cool.
Just
I
have
bet
to
it's
admit
much of a letdown.
Kevin's becoming old and doesn't like new.
Mm-hmm.
It's not that I don't like new. I don't like shooters.
Yeah, but that's what the young people want now. Yeah.
Right. Anyway.
Yeah, but then you love racing and football tactics, and they're both as watered down as anything.
I don't do any tactics in Football Manager. We all know that.
All right. You like spreadsheet.
I don't like racing. I like Forza Horizon. I don't even play the normal Forza Motorsport games anymore. I don't like any other racing games. There's something about Forza Horizon that just ticks my boxes, and I don't even really know what it is. I just enjoy those games.
I think you like that it plays itself, and all you have to do is hold down accelerate.
It might be that. I like driving through the fields, finding sheds that have got old cars in.
Yeah. See, I couldn't. The problem I think I had reading through E3, there's not many games there where I feel like it's going to really get me and just really G me up. And for years and years and years, games did that. And it's like, I was buzzing after playing Detroit, and now I'm playing it with my wife and watching her have a right old panic and hissy fit about what she's going to do about feeding people, or should she put something down, or should she take it? And she's asking me for help, and I'm just laughing at her. I'm just saying, I'm not helping you. You do it. You decide. This is your game. And, seeing that, she's well into it, and I'm thinking none of these games offer that kind of thing. And I know
we're jumping ahead to our conclusions of the entire show, but I felt a lot like that. I looked back at this and thought, well, this time last year, I was mega excited about A Way Out. I was mega excited about Detroit. They were both shiny new IPs that did something a little bit different, and they were exciting. And I'm looking through this year, and it's generic shooting game sequel.
I mean, arguably, Detroit's not even that original. It's just the story of Westworld and a few other things. But it was just.
But it hasn't been done in a game.
Yeah, it was
never been done that well in a game, for sure.
I think we're getting onto them now anyway, but I went through it all afterwards. I haven't got my notes in front of me, but I can see them from here, actually. I should go get them. They're on the other end of my table. But I made a lot of notes about this at the time, and I genuinely felt Bethesda were the only ones who came out of it with anything that was a bit like, we've got a lot of new directions and we're going off and this is what we've got. And even some of that was actually, it's like they're tweaking what they've already got. I mean, we know Elder Scrolls 6 will be massively different because they're always revolutionary bigger, aren't they? The new Fallout is much bigger, it's different, and then they've got their new franchise they're doing. I felt like they're actually coming at it going, we want to really step up, whereas like you've just said, everyone else was kind of like sequel.
The thing with Bethesda though is they have gone massively back on what they said themselves they were going to be doing. Weren't they the ones who were harping on about how they were only going to talk about stuff that was going to happen in the next year or so?
That was last year.
So they've changed their tune completely. Now we've got Elder Scrolls 6 and Starfield that will be 2 or 3 years away.
It's because people won't shut up mithering about them.
I didn't realise Starfield was that far. I knew Elder Scrolls 6 was far, but I thought Starfield was more imminent than that.
No.
Bloody hell.
I think it will be finish Fallout this year, keep the servers going for that, and then go on to Starfield. I think Fallout has moved away from single player now. I think this will be it for a few years now, which is a shame.
Well, in the same way as Elder Scrolls has. Skyrim came out, 6 years ago now? And
longer than that. Skyrim was out when I was still in Nottingham.
Yeah, so
is that Alexa version real?
Yes.
Yeah, you can you can use it.
Because I heard it was, but the advert made it look impossible.
Well, it's not full Skyrim, but there is.
Yeah, I figured that.
It's basically a gag. But it's in there. It responds. By the time Elder Scrolls 6 is out, it probably would have been 10 years since the previous Elder Scrolls game, and we've had Elder Scrolls Online in between. But Fallout, I guess, will do the same thing. The next big mainline Fallout game will perhaps be 10 years after Fallout 4.
Yeah.
Especially if they've got to fit Starfield in as well, which looks like their Mass Effect version type thing. Is that roughly what it's going to be, Starfield?
Wasn't there a rumour they were saying they were going to hub these all together in the same universe somehow?
No.
I think they are.
I don't see how they could.
6 months ago, there was this thing on the internet that said Bethesda are working on a sci-fi game and they're going to be working on a way to loop them all in so they're in the same universe, and everyone went mad. And then we've seen the Starfield part, and it's like, when they announced it, which we all knew was coming anyway, my first thought was, well, hang on a minute, that thing I read, like, I think it was 6 months, it could have been a year, it could have been longer. That echoed in my head all of a sudden, and I thought, that can't be happening, surely. But it was almost like they were...
Well, if by in the same universe they mean there's a planet on one side of the universe, which is Earth, which Fallout is on, and then so far away they'll never communicate, there's another planet where Elder Scrolls is set, then no. But they're not the same planet.
Elder Scrolls is set after Fallout. That's what I read years ago now, that Fallout came before Elder Scrolls.
But then where the hell's Starfield and all of that then?
Yeah. Starfield could be
Starfield
first.
is them travelling from the Fallout place to the Elder Scrolls place on the other side of the universe.
There was all sorts of online silliness on Reddit and stuff like that.
Because the planets are the wrong shape.
But the only reason it came up to me was because someone had said that they were working on this other sci-fi based one, and that was going to tie into it all. And then it was as the old man predicted, it's the conspiracy came to life in my mind.
About that. Not
But you also think that Paul McCartney didn't die in the 60s, mate. The things you don't believe are ludicrous.
What now?
Dog's mental. Don't worry about him. Actually, no, do worry about him, but not any more than usual right now. There is an Elder Scrolls game coming out a little bit sooner than Elder Scrolls 6, though. A mobile game. Yay.
Yeah, Blade.
Yeah. And plus, they talked about some Fallout game and a load of VR nonsense that I fast-forwarded.
You fast-forwarded?
I didn't fast forward the Fallout thing, but I fast forwarded all the Doom, all the VR, all that stuff. Not interested.
Oh, okay. I did the same. I was like, not interested. Not in Quake, no, not interested, but I just wanted to do the Fallout.
Doom looks good.
I played the last one. I just wasn't interested anymore.
Yeah, a good shooter.
There's no such thing.
It's odd.
You're getting old. Sorry.
You're only a couple of years younger than me, Pab. You'll be here soon.
Yeah,
it's
I'll
fun
still be
not
playing
having
them.
to worry about these shooters.
Right.
It's weird to think that Doom was one of the Doom and Quake were the thing, weren't they? And it's weird to think that now they're kind of, oh no, you're never Doom, are you? If they'd have fluked it a little bit better, and made that the Halo of games, they'd have been laughing. They could have just released a new Doom every year for the next 100 years, couldn't they?
Well, the fact that they didn't says that it shows that the people still want this game. No, people aren't tired of this game.
The fact that they didn't make one every year shows that people want it. That's confusing.
They're not burnt out on the series. No, like you before going, oh, Halo 6 bobbins, stop making these games. They've not made this is a Doom sequel to the one 2 years ago.
Yeah, my thought 2 years ago and now was, what? Doom games in the 90s? Where's Theme Hospital? Where's Theme Hospital?
There's a new one coming out as well.
Why? It's not the 90s, Pab.
But because nothing's original, realistically. But they need to find something, and the people.
Are they really making Theme Hospital too?
It's not called Theme Hospital. It was at Res.
It was at Res, yeah.
Oh, balls to Res and then nonsense. That car boot
for all EGX events.
I don't want to go to bloody Res. They can write me off that. Put my picture on the door. Don't let me in. If I turn up, I'm under duress.
Oh, I'm the same. I don't want to go Res now.
Absolute bobbins, the whole thing.
Right. Anyway, so Bethesda, Wolfenstein, new Wolfenstein Youngblood has been announced.
Is it new or is it?
Yeah.
Is it? Is it DLC? Because that's what I was like. Oh, it's
not. It's a standalone. It's not DLC from what I can see. I don't necessarily think it's like a whole new Wolfenstein story, but it's set in the 80s, and you play as
his daughters.
Yeah, you play as BJ's daughters, and it's set in the 80s, and it's co-op as well. It is co-op.
Oh, that'd
the
be
first
cool.
time, so it's interesting. I don't know. Like I say, we don't know exactly what it'll be, but it's not out till 2019, so there's still some time for it. So I just don't know. It's not Wolfenstein 3, so I makes you think it is like a bit of a side sort of standalone miniature thing. But that was probably one of the most interesting things that I saw from the Bethesda one. What else have we got? You're right. There is a lot of VR stuff in here.
Even you're trying to salvage something more.
I'm looking at there's mainly.
I mean, mate, seeing your football experience earlier in the World Cup on your VR, it's the first time I've looked at it.
It's cool.
I thought, I want that. I've been trying to ramp up the pressure on Mrs. Sheepdog about a Nintendo Switch.
And Kirsty, don't be so rude.
Now I'm suddenly... She wouldn't let me make her PSN nickname Mrs. Sheepdog. I was outraged. It's just her normal generic email address that she uses. And
leave that out so we can all email her.
Well, no, obviously I don't want all you perverts adding her to your friends list, do I? But it is really irritating wanting to know how her friends have done on Detroit, and she hasn't got any, so it just says naught on everything. But yeah.
So realistically, the only other thing that was, Fallout 76 was the only other thing that was the main thing on this. He had like a 10, 15 minutes thing on this.
Anna, how much is the pre-ordered version of this that you've ordered?
£179.
Why though?
Yeah, it was pretty
glorious.
expensive.
Who wants this?
I do.
Who wants a helmet though? It's not practical.
Anna was almost in tears when she thought it was sold out.
Yeah. Don't.
Go on.
glorious. All the glory. So you get the collection, right? It comes with the helmet that has the lights and the voice modular, and you can wear it. I'll be wearing that playing my game. Inside, at home.
I was going to say, are they slowly but surely releasing a full suit? It seems
yes,
like it.
I've got a Pit Boy, and now I have the helmet, and that's all fantastic.
It'll be chestplate armour next, and then it'll be your boots.
And I will be ready for the nukes. And you lot will be all like, oh, we spent £179 now. We're like, yeah.
What if that's their new plan? They're going to nuke us all, and only the best will survive.
Yeah, I don't know, maybe, but I do want it. It comes with a bag that I also want because I like bags from games. I don't know why, I just do. And then it comes with a map that glows in the dark. Who doesn't love a map? I still have the map from Borderlands 2 on my wall. I still have that up because I just love a map. And it glows in the dark. And it comes with some figures, and then it comes with the beta code at some point very soon because the game is out in a few months, and I want to break it because that's what they call it, break it, or some break it kit. And I want to break the game. I want to play the game, and then if I don't like it, I can always cancel the order. But I'm not against what it is at all. I like that they got a new idea. I like that it'll only be dozens of people instead of hundreds of people because I played the ESO today, and there is just a bunch of people everywhere, especially when you get to the busy areas, and it's just hundreds of people just going past you to go on whatever they're doing. Whereas in Fallout, I'm alright with it being not so many, and the fact that you can group up with people if you want, and the fact that you're in West Virginia, and West Virginia is not flat. At all. So the whole thing is split up down the middle by a mountain. So if there's someone who wants to be mean on the other side of the map, let them be over there.
So what I've seen of this is there's not NPCs, is there?
No.
It's only people. It's only people, and it's a lot of base building. Is a thing in there, isn't there?
Yeah, but it's camp building because you can.
Oh no, I know that.
Camp and take it with you.
It's just that it sounds like Rust or something like that to me, where there's no real
Fallout.
Sorry,
it's Rust in Fallout.
Oh no, but that's the thing. The more I think about it, I was all in for it, and then I'm thinking, there's no real quest givers. There's no quest to go on. It's just survival in this world, and that's not necessarily a bad thing.
They said there's going to be a story in it, but
who's giving you the quest though? If there's no NPCs.
Because it's 25 years.
I don't mind.
It's
You're going to apply to be a quest giver in Fallout 76.
Yeah. I got time on my hands. It'll be fine.
I'll just be like a turnip salesman or something. I'll just farm in the fields. People can come and ask me for one.
I feel like this is brilliant though. If people could just decide to, if you could set your own quest stuff in there. And I could my gaming experience for an evening would just be standing on the corner of a street with one of those big mooses with a shop on the back of it next to me, handing out quests to people who come and talk to me. That would be brilliant. Yeah. I'd do that for an evening.
Most of them are trolls anyway, because they say like, my cat got stuck up a tree. Can you go get it? And you're like, yeah, of course. And then he's like, yeah, but I was on the other side of the world when it happened. See you later. You got to fight through 12 dungeons to get it.
The other thing about this is that they've said there's nukes on this game. There are several nuke sites. I don't think it.
But they're saying do what you want with them.
Yeah, exactly. So people are they'll end game is like 2 days with some people on them.
I am nuking your horse.
And that's what I mean. Straight away, you get in the game and someone's nuking you the second you log in. I'd be like, nope, I'm done.
Again,
but you need to nuke to get material. So they are there for a reason.
Oh no, but
I'm nuking wherever you're standing. Not you specifically, other people. Oh, there's a group of people over there. I'm nuking that.
I would think everyone would want to nuke the vaults. I know they're nuke proof, but you'd want to nuke the areas.
There's only one vault.
So you just.
Where's everybody else? Are we throwing law away?
Right.
Still got people in.
It is 25 years after the.
But the other vaults are still there. They're just underground still.
Yeah,
but they're not in West Virginia.
Yeah. Only one in West Virginia.
So why is West Virginia full of nukes that can only nuke West Virginia? That's really
Game.
like, you want nukes to go to France
because that's where they are.
Yeah.
You don't get nukes for yourself.
No, but you haven't. They were there before the war.
Yeah.
And now you're just using them against each other if you want.
Yeah, that's the thing. The nukes aren't designed initially, weren't put there to nuke themselves.
No.
They were there to nuke the rest of the world.
Could you just imagine everyone coming out in Peterborough? Let's launch them now. But my point is, you'd aim for where everybody else is coming out from, surely. You'd want all the new players coming out of the game to have to walk through a gauntlet of radioactive waste.
Well, no, because after a while, it will just regen, because you can't have a whole place radioactive, and it's endgame. So I don't think the endgame is going to interrupt the people that are playing.
No, there'll be a starting area. There will be a starting area.
There's 6 areas that it's chunked into, and only 5 are visible on the map. So no one knows where area 6 is yet. So there might be like a whole thing going on underground, because the monsters are all about the folklore around there. There's one with glowing eyes. There's one that looks like they look like moles and stuff like that. So. Mm-hmm. But I'm just waiting for the beta, and then I'll play that. And if I don't like it, then I can cancel. I've not paid anything, because apparently some people who are going into game are paying full price if you go to stores, which I think is atrocious. Like, that's wrong. But because if you do it online, Kevin, why is it okay to do it online?
Selling regulations.
Exactly.
They can't charge you now because they won't provide you with the product soon enough.
Interesting.
Yeah, so they can't take any money, and you don't need to like put a deposit. You know how you used, like, even before, like, you would order something and it would like, oh, it's a deposit. No, it's not a deposit, because you don't know when it's going to come. So I don't have to pay anything. So I'd rather go online, but I am scared that they are going to cancel. I think they're going to oversubscribe and cancel something.
It's only a game, isn't it?
Yeah, only a game.
That's worrying. Isn't it?
It is worrying.
To be fair, I've never had a problem with game. I know you guys have.
Stupid Songbird.
You got it in the end.
Well, you got one though.
Yeah, but the kerfuffle I had to go through.
What kerfuffle? You just kind of helped yourself to it.
Yeah, it's still a kerfuffle.
You happen to be the lucky man who knows a very good sheepdog who always delivers.
Yeah, it's true.
I didn't have it straight away, though.
Yes, but I always deliver.
Late.
Yeah. Sheepdog delivers late. That's his motto.
Always, yeah, that's fine. It gets there in the end.
So, Ubisoft.
Hang on.
I mean, sorry, Stato. Continue. Are we not doing what?
Well,
does anyone care about
people
that?
only...
Yes, in the sense of we've already skipped most of the games from the Microsoft one.
I didn't even watch Square Enix because
I only wanted to see their Final Fantasy VII remake, and they didn't even talk about it. So that means
that's normally Sony, though, wasn't it?
Yeah,
but they didn't cover it at all, which means it's probably rubbish.
It's nowhere near done. That's why. They did show Shadow the Tomb Raider, which looked. Shut up, you.
So did Microsoft, though.
Yeah, we didn't talk about it because Sheepdog jumped straight into Bethesda.
Because it's another 8th game in a series.
Get out of town. It looked good. Anna?
I'll play it.
I haven't played the second one yet.
You need to play it.
It's
good.
Still here, Kevin. It's still...
I know.
On the shelf.
I enjoyed the reboot one, like, for a little bit, and then I thought, oh my god, it's Tomb Raider, and just put it away, and that's it.
Oh, Tomb Raider's good.
Yeah, Tomb Raider's good.
It's definitely really good. Better than before.
Yeah, really good, and I'm looking forward to this one, even though it's not made by the same people. But they were expecting in the Square Enix one, everyone was saying, okay, then where's this Avengers game then? Because the people who did make all the last previous Tomb Raider games are now on the new Avengers game, and so we were expecting that, and nothing happened with it, and I was gutted about that because
that one was another one. Everything people didn't happen. So,
other things in there, Captain Spirit, which is the Life is Strange.
That was different.
Universe.
That was
Sorry?
weird. That
It's
was
weird. It's coming out at the end of June, and it's going to be free. It's like a small title. It's free, so why not give it a go if you're into that world, the Life is Strange universe, which I know Kev liked. I think, didn't you, Kev?
I did, although I'd never finished it. I keep meaning to go back to it. I enjoyed the first couple of episodes rather a lot.
Yeah, well, there you go. There's a free game that it's probably you shouldn't play that because it tees up to the next season. I think by the looks of things. Other stuff on here, Octopath Traveler for the Switch, which is an RPG game made by the Bravely Default people. That's coming out middle of July. That's coming soon. What else on here? Just Cause 4. Yeah, I didn't particularly enjoy Just Cause 3 that much. It was all right.
Every Just Cause game has been rubbish. How are they still making these games? Who is buying Just Cause?
I don't know. Like I say, I didn't overly enjoy it. It was just average for me. So for the new one to be coming out so soon after the last one, kind of surprised me. But
the only good thing about this is we might get 3 energy drinks at EGX again.
No.
Through Just Cause last time.
I haven't had diabetes for a while.
Exactly.
Going back in
But they were good for having a mouthful to swill your mouth out, spitting the mouthful back into the can, and then throwing the can on the floor. I don't know why they didn't have them last year.
To be fair, they did have them. You just had to queue up to play Destiny to get one.
Ugh.
Yeah, I'd rather.
They were cutting them back because I think people were just losing their minds and having the kids just going potty because they've had 4 energy drinks and just now they're on the floor just shaking.
Who was drinking all of those energy drinks? They were
Kids.
just first mouthfuls only.
Kids who don't know better. They're just like sugary sweet drinks that are necking like big.
They were kids when they drank it, but all the testosterone and bullshit in it made them grow 30 years.
Yeah.
And now they don't like shooters.
Yeah. Anyway, that's pretty much the highlights of Square Enix, so you can move on to Ubisoft.
Thanks, Pab. So Ubisoft are the most cringy, awful, horrible company in the universe. I had to watch this I had to have my iPad in front between my eyes and the TV, just sort of peer over the top of it, and I was still cringing.
Why?
I had it on mute.
God.
It's like a Chris Tarrant. You know, when Chris Tarrant used to Japanese adverts, you'd be like, "What is going on?" It could just show.
Started this podcast by wandering out in fancy dress and falling over my microphone, and then having someone clean up the mess behind me afterwards.
I'm sat on a little motorbike right now as you talk.
I could not believe what I was seeing. This company are the worst. Oh.
I even wanted that woman back from Friends.
Because she was good.
She wasn't.
No, she had a couple of terrible, cringy lines. She's an actress. She was.
Yeah. Well, no, you're right. She's fine.
The lines she was given, but at least she was competent and professional.
Yeah.
She didn't walk off stage and with her microphone still on go, "We nailed it!"
No, that was so cringy. all the people on Twitter trying to pretend that wasn't on purpose. There were so many people auto-tweeted at once going, "Oh, that was so adorable. They were so excited." And it was like, no, it was completely manufactured, you gullible fool. Or you're a bot. But no, you're right. I've heard that woman she does a podcast and a few other bits and obviously is massively famous. But no, she's all right otherwise. But the scripts they gave her were terrible. And the scripts they had for their players during their playthroughs.
Oh, my God, I wanted to shoot them. I wanted to go in the game and just shoot them because they were. Oh yeah.
How about we go liberate a city, eh?
That's just.
No one talks like that ever.
Have you heard that Vodafone advert where they're moaning about the internet going down? He's like, "Where's the ship gone?" And I thought that advert was made by someone who the game in their frigging life, and it feels like that's what the Ubisoft scripts are like. They hire someone out.
I can only assume, and it probably is exactly what's happening. They're writing them all in French, putting them into Google Translate, and just leaving it at that, and assuming that's fine. They need a native English speaker to just rewrite everything they come up with.
Running into a weird thesaurus, so they're saying like baby kangaroo, throbbing ventricles.
But what they're doing is they're trying to speak like humans sort of thing would, but they're also trying to be broadly and conveying what they're actually trying to show.
Oh, it's trying to be aspirational, isn't it? As well,
it's like to say you'd say you'd like go, okay, there's one over there, just shoot him, but instead you're going, okay, there's a tank over there, just try and go around and try and flank him to the left and right. You wouldn't say that sort of thing. You just get on with it.
But if you started telling me what to do in a gamepad, I'd say, "Will you shut up?"
Oh, yeah. That's why we're bad at games.
But they're trying to show the game off, aren't they? And
yeah, I'm down.
You don't want people talking, just doing how people really talk in the game, do you?
These were Tom Clancy games. All they really needed was a load of guns on a table and Vic Reeves stood next to him rubbing his legs. Because that's all they are. They're just gun porn.
Still gonna buy it.
Yeah, you look good.
Everyone's still gonna buy it, so they can
That's Division
rub
2,
themselves whilst looking at shiny guns.
It looks all right. I'm interested to see where the story goes.
I want to do a blind Coke Pepsi taste test review, but it's going to be with generic online shooters, and I'm going to see if you can tell them apart.
I could pass that.
They are
test.
different.
They're not.
They are. You just don't play them.
This is third person.
You tell us the I don't know, Football Manager's always different. No, it's not. And shooters are always different. There's always different mechanics. I love playing the Division.
Game. There's not 20 different football management games that are all claiming to be different.
But there's like 3 different football games I can think of. You've got PES, you've got FIFA, you've got Football Manager, you've got Okay, so for manager games, you've got UFC Manager, you've got F1 Manager. They're all the same.
Manager?
Yeah, you know there is. You told me about it. I don't know, you told me about it. I'm sure you did.
I'm be all over that if that is it. That sounds awesome. Ultimate Fight Manager 2016.
I feel like the point Kev's making is most of them seem to just, they build a very similar engine or the engine and they're just reskinning it.
But they are different though. They feel different. And they don't different.
Really. And if they put the effort into making the story, then it probably wouldn't matter. But most of the time, these things have such a garbage story to them that you are just playing a slightly polished engine. And
but Halo is not that. Halo is not the Division. They're completely different worlds and different gameplay.
Yeah, Halo's basically Destiny and all the other shooters and Destiny and all of that.
Halo and Destiny are the same game.
No, they're not.
Of course they are.
You've played 10 minutes?
Destiny's made by Bungie. Bungie created Halo.
But they're not.
The guns even look the same in Halo and Destiny. Destiny is just the Halo 4 that they would have made.
But you're downing on every shooter that's out there.
Halo has more of a story and a lore to it. I'll defend it in that regard. But even then, the story isn't that good. One of the first times I really hated Big Bang Theory was because they were talking about how amazing Halo was, and I just thought, it's not.
But that's called an opinion.
It's not an opinion. It was just a garbage program talking about a garbage story.
I'll tell you what my issue is, Anna. My issue at the moment is that Detroit is now ruined all other games for me. And I'm just grumpy.
I know you are.
I had this for 5 years after Heavy Rain as well. I'm just grumpy that I want there to be a new game that good and that kind every 6 months.
Well, arguably,
wait another 5 years.
Arguably, all Rockstar games are pretty similar, but they have a great story. They take the time to actually do the story and make it worthwhile. But all their games are the same.
Yeah, I wouldn't put Grand Theft Auto in my generic shooter pile, even though mechanics-wise, at its core, it's a shooter.
And it is, that's generic. That's a lot of big generic titles.
Yeah, but Grand Theft Auto games are always superb.
Yeah, because they take the time and the effort to get someone clever to write it.
And they release one every 5 years because
it takes 5 years to write a story. It takes maybe 3 years to write a big engine.
Yeah, but not Destiny. The Division is nearly 4 years old now. So if it's coming out next year, it's 5 years.
The world ended fart. Basically, is what they've written on it.
Isn't the Division one where the
Society
premise of it is there's that place that you don't go into because other people shoot you? That's all I know.
That's the dark zone, but that's the PvP side of it, where you just stay in the normal area, and it's the other one, PvE.
Yeah.
And I don't mind that. That's nothing like Halo or Destiny or any of them. It's a different kind of a shooter, and the fact that you can have 8 people in a team now, that's unheard of. You don't really have 8 people.
I just don't get why, of all of the things that you can use a computer to simulate, of all the different experiences that human beings enjoy, why all of the biggest games every year have to be about running around and shooting people.
Because that's what people like to see. You don't do that. Most people in the world don't do that in real life. This is where you can do it.
It's about the world ending. It's about smallpox pandemic wiping out most of society.
But then it's about...
I thought I'd lost my mind then.
No, but it's about...
Like zombies or anything like that.
No, but it's society's completely fallen apart and everyone's killing each other for supplies and stuff.
Yeah, it's still in the real world.
Yeah, but the story ends there. I was going to say that Destiny also has a story. They just made the epic mistake, well, I say mistake, the lazy decision of putting it all in writing. And you can go and read a book while you play the game if you want to. And that's one of the worst things in gaming. That needs to die with fire. Don't put your story in a back-ended thing that you read. The Last of Us has a fantastic story to it. And again, it's not a revolutionary setup. It's just someone sat and wrote the story.
Exactly. I want more stuff like that.
No, Kevin's just, like Kevin said, he's grumpy.
But if The Last of Us 2 dropped this week, I'd be happy. Because and if they're all Red Dead, or, if it's going to be something that's just a good game that isn't just... I don't like games where the real reason they exist is for online multiplayer shooting. They tack a story on as well, but really it's just a reason to get people doing multiplayer shooting online. And when that is the core reason for a game existing, you can guarantee that's not a game for old Kev.
You put on here a weird Donkey game. That was just a Mario Rabbids add-on. Yeah.
But Mario Rabbids was a weird game.
Well, I'm surprised how long they spent on a video, a non-gameplay video. It just seemed...
Well, they had the live band, didn't they, for this bit? Was this the live band?
It was just so odd.
Because it was Ubisoft.
Yeah. What I mean is, nobody in the world was going, oh, I'm absolutely blown away by this add-on to the game.
They had an hour and a half, and I was desperately scratching around for games that I wrote Beyond Good and Evil 2 down, and I don't even know what that is. I'd forgotten Trials exist. I'd sub Trials in for that now, but they needed to fill that 10 minutes because they had nothing.
For an add-on to a blooming Switch game, I was like, what are you playing at, you weirdos? I'm glad they're adding more characters to it, because when I eventually get a Switch, this is one of the first games I want to get. It was fantastic.
Oh, it gets really hard. Trust me.
Yeah, but I love that. That's, again, this could have gone the opposite way and been a bit crappy and being a bit basic, but I like the fact that it's clever and challenging, that they seem to have put a lot of effort into the tactics on this. So the fact of adding in Donkey Kong as well, I mean, I don't really know what difference it'll make. It looks like they just added a new skin in, because what's he going to do? Beat people? I mean, it was a weird expansion to make in a way. I just was pleased to see that they're adding stuff to it. I think I'd have added other characters first. I'm trying to think who would have been a better option, but still, it just shows they're putting effort into it. It was a very weird way to announce it, though. They spent far too much time on it. The weird band.
Right.
Assassin's Creed Odyssey's out and is a thing. Apparently Assassin's Creed is still going.
Yes.
And there was a Beyond Good and Evil trailer that both Anna and Twitter seemed to get really excited over. But as someone who's never played Beyond Good and Evil, I didn't know what was going on.
I'm missing out.
I've not played the first one, but it looked all right.
Apparently Jade person
you don't understand who Jade is, and it just baffles me.
Well, it shouldn't baffle you that much. I've never played the game. Who is Jade?
She was in the first one.
You'll find out in this one because.
And this is a prequel to the first one.
Play it.
Oh, I'll play it.
Yeah, I'll play it, but when it comes out in 2025, it comes out because
It's not going to be out for years. This game, years and years.
It'll be on the streaming service for Xbox.
They did announce a new Trials game, which I think is another one of the ones that's out in February.
Trials Rising, February 19, yes, and coming to Switch.
Which when I went onto Amazon to try and pre-order it, it's £70 on all platforms at the moment. I'm pretty sure they've got some placeholder prices on Amazon.
Yeah, no doubt is that game is a £30 game at best, at the most.
Well, I would expect it to be 20 on everything.
Yeah,
Switch,
that's what I'm
30 on the Switch.
Well, maybe.
But yeah, I'll get this on the Switch for sure.
Yeah. Well, no, I want to see what it looks like on Switch first because it runs like garbage. There's no point having it on Switch.
Well, I'll play it more if it's on Switch. So even if it is garbage, I'll have it on there.
Yeah.
Everything's better on the Switch, Pab.
Yeah. Oh, I don't disagree with you. Trust me, I don't disagree with you. There's stuff coming up that we will mention. But yeah. What else was on Ubisoft? Have you got anything else written down?
Nothing.
Right, okay. So I'll go through some bits that I've got. For Honor on PC. There's new updates for that and stuff like that. But the thing is, there's new DLC stuff for it. But for this week, so as of this release, I think it's on what's Monday? The date? 18th? Yeah, 18th of June. Yep. I had to think. I thought it was July for a second. Then the starter edition is free, so you can get this game for free right now to play on PC via Uplay. Just putting it out there so people could, if they look interested in that game, and they thought it's too pricey for me, like I was thinking I'll get that game at a decent price because this is free for this week. The Crew 2 is on there as well. What do you think about Crew 2? Does that look anything like?
It's not Forza Horizon, so I'm not.
No,
interested.
It's not Forza Horizon, is it? But they've got planes and boats.
I don't need lots of. And it's the shooter thing again. I've got my one that I like. The others don't need to exist. Because that's the other thing that I don't get about the shooters. It's fine that people like them. Pick your favourite one. Why do you need all the others? All you do is play multiplayer on them anyway.
No, yeah. I don't know. I mean,
favourite and just
I'll keep an eye out for it and maybe pick it up when it's cheaper. Because, like you say, I'm a Forza Horizon man myself.
I reckon if it was given to me free, I don't think I'd bother installing it because I'd rather play Forza.
Well, like I say, I don't know. It depends what it could be amazing. I just don't know because it's got planes and boats in it this time.
Not interested.
So I don't know. I'm interested to see what it is.
Eye.
The other thing is the last thing you've already mentioned. Assassin's Creed Odyssey. October 5th, that's coming out, and it just looks like Origins.
Yeah,
I don't care. I do not care at all because I want this game now.
Oh, do you want it?
Yeah, what are you about?
Oh, I don't. Not.
What do you mean you don't want it?
Not interested.
Do you not like Origins?
I liked it, but I don't. I didn't like it that much that I'd want to go back. I finished it.
Oh, yeah, too right. I would definitely like. Yeah, I would be all over this again because it doesn't need
Origins was too busy with the quest because, like, I got to level. I think it's either 40 or 45 halfway through the game, and then it was just pointless trying to level up because you can't level up any more than 45.
Oh, I know.
And that's annoying. I didn't like it when Destiny did it. I don't like it when they do it in games. Because like in Fallout, yes, there is a cap, but it's quite high. And this one's just like 40. I was like, no, I'm alright, thank you. And then I finished it, and then there was this quest, a light in the desert, right? I went to do it, and that was the most hardest thing. Like the enemies were a higher level than I was, but I can't level up anymore. I was like, no, finish with that. Don't want to play a game that out-leveled me already.
Mm.
I don't know what that was all about. Whether I need to get the DLC so I'm higher, but then that just...
Yeah, it does raise the level cap in the DLC, so...
But why put that mission without the DLC?
Oh, I don't know why that.
Yeah, it just seems a bit weird.
I don't know why that is what it is. That doesn't sound right at all, does it?
No.
Anyway, it just looked like more Assassin's Creed, and people were saying, well, it's not. I'm not as interested because he just looks more Assassin's Creed. But what do you want when you go back to your yearly games? And not they aren't going to change as much.
No.
Based on you get them year in year out. If you take a break like they did with Origins, you're going to get a bigger step in difference because they've got more time to work on it, more ideas to put into the game, what have you. But I'm not necessarily complaining because Origins I really enjoyed, and I'll probably get this on release this time rather than Origins where I waited and see and picked it up cheap. And I thoroughly enjoyed Origins. I've not finished it. I will go back to it though. I know I think about it quite a lot and think I need to go back and play that game. So for it to be a different game set in Greece with like you can play as a man or a woman this time, isn't it? That was a thing that they showed, didn't they?
Possibly.
Yeah, they showed you can play as a man or a woman this time. It's not just like one singular character you play as. I don't know. It looked cool. Mm-hmm. It's set in Greece. And it's set before Origins, which is bonkers because Origins is the origin of the Assassin's Creed.
It's not bonkers. They just don't know what they're doing.
Well, I don't know. So there's no Assassin. No. So it's set before Origins. I don't get how it's set before the Brotherhood started, whatever it is, the actual Assassins stuff started.
So this is just
this is just
man on a killing spree. This is just a murderer.
A vigilante, yeah. I don't know what it is, but it looks cool.
Well, I mean, brotherhoods only start when a brother's got siblings. Maybe it's just an only child.
Maybe we'll see. We'll wait and see. For me, that was probably the biggest thing of Ubisoft.
I thought you were going to say the show then, Pab.
No.
I was just going towards Discord thinking he's out. You can still edit it. You can still edit it, but he's gone.
People were kind of expecting a big finish for Ubisoft, like a Splinter Cell or something like that.
Why? What on earth made people think Ubisoft had anything that remotely?
Didn't they already show Splinter Cell twice earlier on in their thing?
No.
Pretty sure they had Splinter Cell Division and Splinter Cell Rainbow Six come up, didn't they? They're all the same.
No, Sam Fisher was in Wildlands recently. So it led to speculation of why would you get Michael Ironside, who's the voice of Sam Fisher, for this free DLC that's like a mission in thingy. You would suspect that they are ramping up for him to voice lines in a new game, and that's what all the speculation was. So it just kind of ended on Assassin's Creed with no real announcement or anything like that. Nothing
Wasn't it nice when it ended though, the Ubisoft one.
Yeah, I mean it was just fun.
It was hard work.
Yeah, but they're all hard work. Let's be honest with you. Like the PS4 one is just hard work. We move on to PS4 Sony then.
No, it's PC first.
Do you watch the PC one? Because I didn't watch it at all.
I didn't watch the whole thing, but that's where the Walking Dead trailer was. So I've put it in there as a separate show.
This the Payday one.
There's a lot of anger about the Walking Dead on the internet.
Why?
Just about them killing off every part of their franchise.
Well, they're milking a nice little bit of it. This looks quite good, the new Walking Dead game.
This
looks quite good.
This is the people who made Payday game, isn't it? Yeah, it does look good, to be fair.
And we got a trailer for that. And somewhere, I don't even know where we got Jurassic World Evolution trailer. That might have been on the gaming show as well.
You might like that one. You might like that.
Well, it's taken over the Football Manager community on YouTube.
You might like it.
Well, I don't want to pay 45 quid for it.
Well, just put it out there.
Oh, it looks good. I've watched lots of videos on it. It looks good. But I pay £30 for Football Manager. I'm not paying £45 for Dinosaur Manager when I won't get time out of it. And that's all it is. It's a cross between Football Manager and Theme Park with dinosaurs. So that's not worth 45 quid in my head.
No.
Yeah, but dinosaurs can eat the humans.
Not if you're good at the
What's
job.
The cash value on that? So I'll wait and pick that up in a Steam sale at some point for £4.
Yeah, keep an eye on it because it is good.
It does look good. Although the IGN review on YouTube absolutely.
Oh, it's awful. Yeah, he hates it. You can hear it in his voice. Everyone else says good.
Because I suppose I have played it for about 6 hours. I've enjoyed every minute of it so far. But I mean, I don't know what Endgame is. I'm still trying to unlock the sandbox island. So we'll wait and see. Next week we'll have more conversation on that.
Yes, we shall. So now we can move on to Sony. And
Yes.
Despite you still getting the fanboys with their Sony 1E3 nonsense, I could only think of two games that I was interested in when I was making this list: The Last of Us 2 and Spider-Man. So they're both games that I already knew about.
It was cringy seeing those people saying hands down they'd won it.
Nowhere near.
Too much of that is what spoils it for everyone. I don't think, as I said before, I think Bethesda probably came closest to being impressive. But go on, you talk about. Was it Last of Us you wanted to start?
Last of Us 2. I saw because I didn't stay up and watch the Sony thing. I just picked out highlights. I saw there was a Last of Us trailer. I deliberately haven't watched it because I don't want to know.
Haven't watched it at all?
No, I don't want to know.
Yeah, I haven't. I saw it was there. I saw it apparently just looks amazing, and I just thought,
that's all I need to know. I don't want to know anything.
I'll be getting it.
Last of Us 2.
To be fair, you could watch the gameplay because the gameplay is just.
I don't want to.
You don't want to even see the gameplay.
Nope. I know how it plays. It plays like The Last of Us.
All right, fair enough.
And if it plays differently to The Last of Us, they've absolutely dropped the ball there.
Yeah, it suddenly plays.
It still plays like The Last of Us.
But then it's still going to be close to a perfect video game, and that's all I need to know. I don't want to spoil the story for me at all.
I mean, like I say, this. I don't know. Go on.
And Spider-Man just looks brilliant. It's the one game that I went straight out and pre-ordered off the back of
Spider-Man does look good. Spider-Man does look good.
Looks so cool. It's the Spider-Man game I've always wanted.
Do they just literally? Does this mean he's not going to be in the Avengers?
What do you mean?
I imagine it comes down to licensing again.
Yeah, that's what I was getting at.
There's a good chance he probably will. But isn't the Square game is it an MCU game or is it just a Marvel game? You know what I mean?
Well, I think it's based on the comics. Looking at him, but then looking at him, he looks like he's wearing the Iron Spider get-up. So
who's that? The PS4 game.
Yeah,
it's its own suit. It's not. It's a suit specifically designed for this game, which has actually been announced. There is a comic book series coming out about this Spider-Man.
Okay.
So
is it Peter Parker then?
Yeah, it's Peter Parker. It's a different universe, Peter Parker, I think, from what I'm looking at. 138,
apparently.
Yeah, some other nonsense. Yeah, it looked cool.
It's Batman Arkham Asylum.
I thought that, yeah.
But with Spider-Man instead. Yeah. So that'll do me, because Arkham Asylum's probably the best superhero game ever made. And if they can come up with a Spider-Man version of that, that's me happy.
It upsets me that the car ruined the third one of them, Arkham Knight, for everyone, because I've played all three of them, and I love Arkham Knight, and I was okay with the car, and I feel like Arkham Knight could have been it if they'd have just not done that. It's a shame they're not doing a proper DC full one. They hinted at there being Superman and so forth in the end of Arkham Knight.
Well, there's whole people there's rumours going around again this time before all the conferences going. Where's Rocksteady going to be? Are they going to be PlayStation or what have you? And nothing came again. But there was whole rumours about, like, say, Spider-Man, Superman, and Justice League, and
because I just think it writes itself. You'd have the Flash doing the Fast Pass stuff.
I mean, you've got to look at like how long ago was Arkham Knight now? What, 2014? Maybe something like that.
Yeah, it feels
so.
Like
where's Rocksteady been for the last 4 years? They've been doing something.
I just want to fly from Metropolis to Gotham and visit.
I just don't see how you make a good game with Superman in.
Well, Rocksteady.
Well, you just trap him to rain the game.
The only way you make a game is kryptonite his face off straight away. Otherwise, where's the game? He's Superman.
Yeah, but that's where the good writing comes in, because I love reading it, because it's never like that. It's never that simple. I do often think that in all the other comics, I don't mean to get this comic section, but I do often wonder why, if they're such good friends, why doesn't Batman and Arrow and so forth just get Flash and Superman to quickly nip round their cities, arresting everyone who's naughty, and Yeah, just have Cyborg watch the prison so they can't get out. They're not really putting their resources to full effect, are they?
Exactly. But other than that, for Sony, I didn't really have anything else.
Okay.
It was those two. Stato.
So do you want me to go through some? I've got some Control, which is the new game from Remedy, which are the people who did Alan Wake and Quantum Break. Is that right?
Yeah, when they talked about that, I thought that sounded like a Kev game.
It looks good.
It
looked good. It did look good, that one.
I didn't really like either of those games, though.
Did you not? Oh, okay.
No, I tried Alan Wake. I watched a bit of Quantum Break that Anna was playing. Never even gave it a chance, but it just didn't look like my kind of thing. I didn't like Alan Wake. I tried several times.
Who really liked it? Was it Bouncy that liked it?
People do like it, yeah.
One of you guys loved it.
I've never played it, so I don't know. Probably one Bouncy. But I know a lot of people do speak very highly of Alan Wake.
Yeah.
Ghosts of Tsushima, which is the people from Sucker Punch. Have you seen any of this at all?
Is that the manga one?
It's the samurai-looking one, which looked pretty cool. This is people who made what was the superhero one for?
That wasn't the one I was thinking of. Yeah.
What was it? What was the Last Light and what have you? What was it called?
Infamous.
Infamous. There you go. The Infamous people. That's the one I'm thinking of. Infamous people making this like samurai-based gaming. That looked really cool. That looked really, really nice looking game. That one. What else have we got on here?
Get my juices flowing for a samurai game.
No. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what it's like at all. Another Kingdom Hearts free trailer on this one. Get you more interested into Kingdom Hearts if you wanted that.
Get the Final Fantasy nonsense out of it, and I'm there.
Death Stranding. There was a whole thing about Death Stranding. You've not paid any attention to this, have you, Kev?
I literally watched the two trailers that interested me.
Yeah, so you didn't watch the Death Stranding at all. Anna, did you see the Death Stranding stuff?
No.
No. It just looks weird again.
It's just a weird game, and I don't understand it.
It's the Kojima thing of doing weird, contrived stuff. It's like, they're teasing you with stuff and confusing you, and you don't actually know what the gameplay is. There was in-game stuff this time, no, at least.
My reaction to that was anyone who employs Norman Reedus to do anything doesn't know what they're doing, so it can't be that good.
I don't know. I'm intrigued. Definitely, I want to see what it's about.
They wouldn't have tried to get a name, and then B, they wouldn't have picked that turd of an actor.
They got multiple names. They got Norman Reedus. They got Mads Mikkelsen, and then they had two women, didn't they? This time announced.
Such a sexist, Pab. You remember?
I can't remember the name. No, because they were announced.
Two little dolly birds.
They were announced. That's you, not me.
Yeah, Norman Reedus, Mads Mikkelsen, and presumably their maids.
Couple of sweethearts, isn't it, Pab?
You done?
I don't know. I might have one more.
The other thing.
Wikipedia doesn't mention him either. I had a quick look. There's no mention of women on there.
Neo 2.
Wikipedia is not reliable.
Yeah. Neo 2 was announced as well, which is the game that was a bit like Dark Souls, set in like samurai sort of ninja world. And the sequel of that has been announced as well. So that was pretty much it. Spider-Man's the last thing on the list that was there. So
Lindsay Wagner.
I didn't hear what he said there because I was doing my grand. Then we had
Lindsay Wagner and Leah Sado. They're the women in the game, just because I found it. Sorry.
And then we had Nintendo.
Did you get... I got suckered in by the likes of Clarky tweeting me saying, "Don't you worry, mate. Don't you worry. Nintendo got it. Nintendo have got it. They're still to come. Wait for Nintendo."
Well, they probably did have the biggest announcement of the entire thing, with Fortnite finally appearing and dropping straight away.
That is decent. It shows that the Switch is definitely taking part in this generation with everybody else. But it's not that massive. It's just a game that everyone's already playing and other stuff is now available on that. It's like, yay, good. But if people couldn't play it before, what on earth were they watching E3 on?
But that's The reason it's massive is because that it wouldn't have come to Wii U, and that's what killed the Wii U. It's the equivalent of Minecraft appearing on the Wii U.
There was no way to watch E3 without a developer being capable of playing Fortnite. So nobody's life was changed by this announcement. It just signifies that the Switch.
I've played more Fortnite this week than I would have done without it being on Switch.
Sure.
How'd you get on?
It's just as broken as on PC. People.
Yeah. I played my first game on it and came second. I was like, okay.
Oh, I did. I was like in the top 30 before I saw anybody. So I think they are. And the guy who killed me, we were both just jumping up and down, facing each other for about 20 seconds, missing each other. And then eventually he shot me. So, the standard is much lower at the moment on the Switch.
Yeah, you're
still cross-playing, surely?
No. There's a thing in the top corner that says, join with, you play with same platform and what have you.
Oh, right.
It literally sticks you on the same platform. It only starts like putting you with other groups if you start having a party with someone, say, on the PC or the Xbox. Not the PS4, obviously, because you're not allowed to do that. I don't know what's it. They've got to bend on that at some point because it's been an absolute storm about it, hasn't there?
It is a weird state.
Which was probably my favourite tweet.
Did he?
Yeah, he just put a message out, basically giving you a step-by-step thing how to get your Fortnite stats from Xbox into Switch.
Wow, really? Interesting.
And then we got a date for, I don't know if we had a date before, but we got a date for Super Smash Bros. Ultimate is coming out in December.
No, there wasn't one before that, yeah. And we had a in-depth 20-minute discussion on Smash Bros. Ultimate, which told you about the characters, the abilities, the levels, up to 10,000 changes or stuff, different things in this game.
I thought this was an exciting update because it was them saying we want to jam absolutely everything into this. This is us going properly nuts.
Oh yeah, I know. But
again, it felt like they're trying to make this. It made me feel they've gone and got Zelda and they've done the best friggin' Zelda game they can possibly do. They've got Super Smash Bros. And they've done the best friggin' Super Smash Bros. They can do. And it's like, I forget, Mario Odyssey is like Mega Mario, whatever. I've lost my train of thought. Galaxy, that's the word I was trying to say. And, I just saw this and thought, you little gits, I want this even more now. And, this just looks brilliant. I will want to play this. This is exactly what I wanted to see. They've added to it. They've not taken anyone out. They've smushed it all in together. They're going all out on it. Smash Bros is a great game series.
I don't disagree with you, and I probably will get it, but I just don't necessarily think you needed a 20-minute guide on this entire game. It's just tell me there's all the characters. I don't need to see all the move sets and what's different about each character.
It's got a bit of a cult kind of battling following in it. People probably wanted to know that.
Oh yeah, people like mega fans of this will have loved every minute of that. But for people who just casually play it, sort of thing, you're just like, okay, yeah, I get it. There's a Smash Bros coming out. I don't need.
There's so many people upset that Waluigi isn't a character yet.
Yeah, there is.
Waluigi. That was a terrible impression. But
okay, so
Anna, are you sleeping?
No.
I thought you were sleeping. I thought you laughed the first time, and then I thought,
no.
Sorry.
Other stuff on this list. What have we got? Pokemon Let's Go. They showed a bit more of that stuff.
I can't wait to play that.
Yeah, that looks alright. You getting the Pokeball Plus?
Oh god, yeah! You get a Mew to go in the game. It'll be the first time I've ever had a Mew in a proper Pokemon game.
It looked kind of cool. It looked kind of cool, but from what I've read, it doesn't seem like your conventional Pokemon game. From what I've read of it now,
it's just Pokemon Red, Yellow, without the grinding. So you catch a Pokemon like you do in Pokemon Go. It's the same. It looks like the same story, from what I understand.
Oh, yes, but you don't get random encounters anymore.
No, it's just you see the Pokemon, you go
in the world like you would Pokemon Go, yeah.
Which is a fantastic.
It's a cool idea, but it's not your full-fledged Pokemon that will be coming out at a later date.
Yeah, It will break because my son doesn't get it when we play on the 3DS. He doesn't get why I don't need 100 haunters to evolve it into a Gengar. He's just like, well, let's catch another one, get a fight with this one, and he learns and gets more experience, and then he just evolves on his own. And he's like, but what? But why would that happen? And he just doesn't understand. Because in his world, Pokemon just get fed until they evolve. And this game's not going to do anything to fix that because it seems like that's the route they're going down. But I'm happy with that. This game just looks spectacular. It's basically the Game Boy ones, but you can co-op on them.
Yep. They've announced, I don't know if they already announced that. It's out on November 16th.
Yeah, 2 days before my wife's birthday, so cool. That's what she's getting.
Pokeball Plus. Super Mario Party they've announced, which is another Mario Party game. Not my cup of tea, but it's out there. It's out on October.
Have any of you ever been to a party where anyone's broke this out?
No.
Me neither.
It's not my cup of tea.
Has anybody?
No. People probably have done. I don't know.
I've played it.
I've played it, but only played it.
Well, you're at a party. Yeah, I was going to say. No. I don't know anyone who's ever gone to a broke out Mario Party. They should just call it Mario loads of little diddy games that we let the intern make.
What else have we got on here? Fire Emblem Three Houses out in spring. New Fire Emblem game coming to Switch. What else have we got on here? Fortnite we've mentioned. Overcooked 2. New Overcooked game. Any play Overcooked?
One.
Is that the one where you have to cook really quickly?
Yeah. You're like a kitchen.
I played that with my brother-in-law. That's fun. I'm terrible at it.
Yeah, it's a good game. It's a good game. So the second one that's coming out in August. Hollow Knight. Hollow Knight's a big game that's been played on. Is it out on PS4? Hollow Knight, Anna? Do you know?
I have no idea.
I don't remember. I know it's out on PC and it's out on Switch now. It came out as of the show itself, so it's already out now.
You glazed over Fire Emblem a bit. Everyone's been raving.
Well, I don't really follow Fire Emblem. I just put down what it was. I don't know. I know that it's a hugely popular game and what have you, and it's the people who made Advance Wars and stuff like that. But other than that, I don't really follow Fire Emblem. It looks like
the sort of game I would have thought
you would probably enjoy it. You would probably enjoy it.
Yeah, I think I probably would. But I thought Anna would have an opinion on it, and she hasn't responded, so I'm surprised.
I don't even know what it is.
It just looks like an RPG.
An RPG that's quite hugely popular. It's supposed to be really good. Then they had like a sizzle reel type thing, and I got as many games down in there as I could. I've missed some because there was just loads of them sizzling through it. Dragon Ball Fighter Z, whatever you want to call it. Captain Toad, Crash Bandicoot, Ark, Paladins. Similar to, it's like an Overwatch sort of type of game. And what else we got on it? Before they did Smash Brothers, they did Mario Tennis as well, which is out next week. I want to say Mario Tennis Aces.
That's another one. I don't.
Wimbledon.
Yeah, right.
What
time.
a coincidence!
Which console was Jump Force on?
All of them, I imagine. Maybe not Switch, but it's a Bandai Namco game, so it's.
Kev being the manga fiend that he is now, the anime fiend up his street, fighting us all of his anime characters that he loves so dearly.
I don't watch anime.
No,
yeah, you do.
You read it.
I finished One Punch Man the other day. I was a bit disappointed that I finished it. It was awesome. I was hoping he'd be in the game. That would have made me want it. Because
he might be.
He's not on the list.
Oh, is he not? He's not been announced yet.
Yeah.
You never know. DLC. Who knows?
Plus, it'd be impossible to have him in the gamepad because One Punch, he'd win.
Well, exactly. But that's your lot for Nintendo.
Hooray! Which concludes E3, I believe.
Yes.
Unless there's anything we've missed off. I don't think there is. We've not said Devil May Cry at any point. There's a new one of those.
That was in the Xbox stuff, but we jumped over it a bit. So there was Devil May Cry stuff.
So that was interesting as well.
Yeah.
Do we want to go through and decide who won, or are we above all that?
Based solely on the shows themselves,
I'd say after the clear winners, obviously.
I'd say Xbox won. Xbox had the most.
I'd be inclined to agree with you, little fella.
Xbox had the most stuff, just games, and the most stuff that probably I would play. I would say. I don't know. I
think you're right, but I think it is a little bit of a tallest dwarf contest. Because
I was going to say, if you were measuring it by who will make the most personally, then yeah, Microsoft or Nintendo. If you were looking at who I think most people would have been impressed with, I'd have said Bethesda.
I think Bethesda.
No, I think Bethesda had the best.
And a few. We've got these things that we're working on too.
I had the best speech by Todd Howard. I'd take my hat off.
It wasn't a speech, it was more like a seminar, wasn't it? He probably went into a deep dive, didn't he? He was there for 10-15 minutes up on stage.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, it was good.
And we all agree Ubisoft should just stop.
Ubisoft
bring out the phones, just don't do it.
Not games.
Yeah, what Ubisoft need is a PR manager who speaks English and, you know, has watched something funny at some point and has a vague idea of what's funny and what's not.
It has to be a cultural thing, because I work with an Israeli company and they do not get humor, and all of their marketing is what they think an American might find cool in the early 90s, and everything they release, you're like, God, what are they doing now? And no one ever likes it, and it's just notorious across the industry that they're terrible at marketing, and that's how Ubisoft feel. They just feel like they've had this idea, and somebody high up is just going, do this! It'd be like if you were just in charge of our marketing and insisted that we couldn't do it any different, and that was the way it had to be, but you were mental.
This is all pretty much how it works at the moment, which is why the podcast hasn't progressed in 5 years.
It will eventually, because I always deliver though.
So what would you say your game of the show was, or whatever it is? What was the thing that got you most excited for?
Fallout.
Spider-Man, purely on the basis that it's the only one out this year that I'm interested in, I think.
Yeah. Sheepdog?
It's certainly the soonest one.
Oh, yeah.
I was hoping you just wouldn't ask, because I genuinely don't know.
You say Pokemon, I would have said.
Yeah, well, that doesn't really count, though, does it?
Well, it was there, so... I mean,
yeah, I was trying to avoid it. I'm most excited about that.
I mean, for me, it would be Cyberpunk, but that's way off. But, I mean, that's one of the only games that I was like, I'm in straight away, no questions asked. Day one,
how much I enjoyed Kingdom Hearts until I saw it again, and I'm giddy about Last of Us, because I know that I'll get away with having the TV because it's that kind of game. It will suck my wife in. Whereas,
hey Kevin,
hey Annika,
Cyberpunk 2077 will be a first-person RPG shooter.
See, I just thought it was going to be Cyberpunk. That's what I was imagining.
The fact it's got RPG in there is a significant thing. It's not just a first-person shooter.
For me, the fact that it's the people who made Witcher.
Because Fallout is a first-person RPG shooter, and Mass Effect, okay, it's a third-person RPG shooter.
But it depends
as long as you have RPG in there, it's all right. It's when it's literally just running down corridors, shooting things, or running through a big field, jumping in the air and shooting things.
Mm-hmm.
That's when shooting's stupid.
Agreed.
Right, let's go to bed. Cause,
good night. Bye-bye.
Enormous. So we will see you all next week. We're going to have two podcasts next week. We're going to do the normal podcast, and we're going to do a Detroit spoiler cast, because by then Anna will have finished as well, and we'll all be ready to have a proper deep dive chat about Detroit and why it's better than every game we've just talked about that was at E3.
I might try and get Kirsty on it. I might try and coerce her into joining us.
And then she can tell us what her PlayStation username is.
Yeah.
So in the meantime, obviously you can keep in touch with us using all sorts of social media stuff, one of which would be Twitter at MGUK Podcast, or you can follow me at Lelujo.
I'm at RB6K.
I'm at Miss Lelujo.
And I'm at Pab 1986.
And of course, if you want to be able to fully partake in that Detroit spoiler cast next week and you haven't got the game yet, might I recommend you just watch my Let's Play on my YouTube channel, where you can see how to play the game properly, and then you'll know who was right when we get stuck into it next week. See you next week, boys and girls.
Have a good week.
Bye.
Thanks for listening, folks.